4 of my last 6 videos hit 1 of 10, each one consecutively better than the last. A year ago, I was guessing. Every video felt like starting over. I didn't magically gain more talent, I just built systems that removed the guessing. The same AI tools that you have, I just stopped using them like a search engine, started using them like a second brain. I built everything in Poppy. It is a visual AI workspace. I'm going to show you the 3 bottlenecks that make creators quit. Not knowing what to make, getting no views, and burning out before results show up. And more importantly, the one system that solves all 3 at once. So a year from now, you're not saying, I wish I started a year ago. Let me tell you how this actually went down. I restarted my channel in early December 2024, about a year ago. And by restarted, I mean I'd been creating content on and off for the last 15 years across multiple channels. This wasn't my first rodeo, but it was my first time doing it with intention. Early on, every video was chaos. I'd have 20 tabs open, notes scattered across Google Docs and Notion. I'd spend hours organizing folders and creating custom templates. Then I'd spend more hours trying to find the doc that I needed from last week. I was redoing the same Google searches, asking Claude the same questions, copy-pasting between different AI platforms. Every video felt like I was failing before I even started. The blank page wasn't inspiring, it was paralyzing. My workflow was scattered. I second-guessed everything. I never felt certain. My second video back, I had this idea to showcase example videos on my homepage, which is a simple concept, right? It took me forever to figure out how to balance that with everything else that I wanted to cover. I ended up spending way too long on multiple examples that all made the same point. But even through all that, I'm glad that I started then. If I had let perfectionism keep its hold, I wouldn't be here today. But you need to be careful of something though. You will burn out if every video feels like starting from scratch. So I started writing things down. How did I validate that title? What made that thumbnail work? What's my process for researching the topic? I treated it like an experiment, and slowly those awful feelings of chaos turned into predictable results. And then it was just iterating on them to make them better. I tried Notion, I tried Obsidian, I had and still have elaborate folder systems in Google Drive. They all had the same problem. I was organizing files, not workflows. I needed to see my entire process at once, not jump between documents. I've been using Poppy for the last few months, and it's, I really hate to say this term, been a game changer. It is a visual AI workspace. Think ChatGPT, but instead of conversations disappearing into chat history, you're building on an infinite canvas. Everything stays where you put it. You can drop in videos, documents, transcripts, organize them visually, then have AI conversations that pull from all of that context at once. The difference is with ChatGPT or Claude, you're copying and pasting the same context documents into every new chat. Your audience analysis, your voice guidelines, your frameworks. With Poppy, you set it up once and it's always there. The AI already knows your audience, your voice, your process. You're not re-explaining yourself every single time. That saved me probably 100 hours in this last year, and it's removed enough of the friction that I actually use this system consistently. March came around and my video, How to Survive Being a Small YouTube Channel, took off. It was my first real breakthrough. But what really made the difference was building a system to repeat it. I was building systems while I was making videos. AI wasn't just a tool I used occasionally, it became the backbone of my entire workflow. By August, I quit my day job, not because I went viral, I just maintained consistent traction with a repeatable process. September, I launched my first cohort, 17 students, we just wrapped up last week. Now, if I tried to explain everything that you need to know about YouTube, it would take 12 plus hours, and we'd cover strategy, audience research, packaging, scripting, retention analytics, all of it. Instead, I'm just going to show you what you need to get results tomorrow. I just spent 2 full days redoing my entire workflow in Poppy to set me up for 2026. I turned it into a template so you can just copy what I'll be using for the next few months. There is a link for it in the description. We're focusing on the things that actually get you views and keep you from quitting. The AI workflow that removes decision fatigue, and systems that turn chaos into consistency. There are 3 places where I almost gave up. 3 moments where the chaos nearly won. There's one specific system that got me past each one. The first bottleneck almost made me quit before I even started, and it's the one that most creators never solve. I'd sit down to make a video and I'd have no idea where to start. When you're starting out, the advice can be paralyzing. Find your niche first, study your competitors, wait until you have a clear strategy. But you can't figure out what works until you start making things. So I just started, and I made a bunch of mistakes. My first and 5th videos were basically reworded transcripts from other creators. I wrote them in my voice, but I didn't know how to do much more than that. Only by making stuff did I learn what I should make. And my biggest mistake was, I knew that analyzing other people's content was important. I did it from time to time, but I didn't have a system for it. Sometimes I'd do it, sometimes I wouldn't. No consistency. And what I didn't realize at the time was that without that system, I was just guessing every single week. I'd watch a great video on Tuesday, and by Saturday, when I'm trying to brainstorm, I'm thinking, what was that video? What made it good? I'd spend 20 minutes hunting through my YouTube history, rewatching sections trying to remember my thoughts. I tried everything. I bookmarked videos, saved them to playlists, screenshot thumbnails. But when I needed them, they were scattered, buried in 100 other different bookmarks. I'd rewatch the same video 3 times trying to remember what made it good. One thing finally clicked for me, and it's something that Alex Hormozi says pretty often. Learning means same condition, new behavior. If you've listened to 1,000 podcasts and you still haven't changed anything, you haven't learned, you've just been entertained. I'd watch hundreds of YouTube tutorials, but I wasn't implementing what I learned. I wasn't learning, I was just consuming. So I built a system, and it changed everything about how I come up with video ideas. It wasn't until much later, after a ton of trial and error, that I built a repeatable process for this, and now that I have it in place, 4 of my last 6 videos hit 1 of 10, each one consecutively better than the last. And this isn't the only reason, but I think it's a big factor. Let me show you what it looks like. This is my workflow for turning inspiration into ideas. And in a second, I'm going to reveal the one piece that makes this 10 times more powerful than just saving links. This is great because you can see everything I'm doing visually. I use it for my entire content creation process. This is the board right here, and its first section is for ideation. It's how I analyze great videos. Any video that inspires me goes here. Could be from my niche or from a completely different one. If it made me think, I want to make something like that, it goes here. You literally just paste the URL and it shows up here. I'll also paste about 100 comments from the video right next to it. Poppy automatically pulls the transcript, analyzes the comments, and then gives you a full breakdown of everything that made that video special. This is nice because it gives me a blueprint on how I can make a great video like it without copying. I just start a conversation and type my thoughts about my take on it in the chat. What's my angle? What's my experience with this topic? What could I add that they didn't cover? And now it's documented. The analysis is done. I click into this board and everything's already here. There will be a history of every video I've studied. 20 minutes of creating instead of 20 minutes hunting for notes. This board has literally generated 80% of my best performing videos. You can see all of the reference material. I've linked some great YouTube education videos, and then across the bottom, there's a group full of my content, my audience analysis, so it knows who I'm making content for, and my voice doc, which is so it can write like me. Everything's visual, everything's connected. And when I come back to brainstorm next week, it's still all here. I'm not hunting down that video I watched 3 weeks ago. I'm not trying to remember what made it good. It's documented, it's repeatable. Analyze something that inspires you and find your angle on it. Don't just consume tutorials. Learn from what you watch by changing your behavior. Document what works and why. And if you take a moment to hit the like button on this video, YouTube is going to show you more great videos like it on your homepage. Just saying. So now you know what to make. You've got a system for ideas now. But here's the brutal truth. None of that matters if nobody clicks. And this next bottleneck is where I wasted the most time. 6 months of making videos nobody watched because I didn't understand this one thing. You finally know what to make. You spend hours on a video, you hit publish, and it dies at 200 views. Everyone will tell you the answer is packaging, thumbnails, and titles. They're not wrong. This was another big unlock for me. Listen to how Patty Galloway frames things.
YouTube is not a video platform. It's a click and watch platform. It's a platform that people have to decide what to view.
YouTube is not a video platform. It is a click and watch platform. Or, of course, as Mr. Beast puts it, if they don't click, they don't watch. Your packaging is everything, and it's where most creators get stuck. They're told to master thumbnail design, study color theory, learn typography, analyze click-through rates, A/B test endlessly. But you can spend all day second-guessing every thumbnail decision. For a long time, I just make whatever popped into my head. No validation, no framework, I just pick something and go. Sometimes it worked and I landed on something good. Many times I didn't. It's a terrible way to operate. I want to show you the thumbnail that made me realize I had no idea what I was doing. When you see which one performed best, you're going to understand why intuition fails and why you need a system. This is my video for why your videos die in 48 hours. I made a few different options, and the one that you see on my channel, I didn't think would work. I threw it together kind of as a backup on the off chance. Turns out, it was the best performer by a mile. I stared at those 3 thumbnails. The one that I thought would bomb was getting 10% more watch time, and the one that I expected to do well bombed. Something was broken in how I was making decisions. I needed a system. I took the process that I used to make that thumbnail and made it repeatable. This is what I do now. This is my packaging section in Poppy. Up here at the top is what makes it special. I did a deep dive case study on the types of titles and thumbnails that work. I spent days putting them together. These are what led to those 1 of 10 videos. I actually gave these to my newsletter subscribers last week, and next week I'm giving them my new scripting system. Again, there are some great reference videos here so that the chat knows what makes good packaging, and there is all of the same stuff across the bottom so it knows my audience and me. And the other half of the magic is in there. As I mentioned before, my audience analysis. It's a document that breaks down who watches my videos, what they struggle with, what language they use, what they're trying to achieve. And if you want to make one for yourself, I show you how to do exactly that in that video up there in the corner. I've also set up a specific place on this Poppy board to do it too. Let's focus on thumbnail specifically. My thumbnail doc is the guardrails. It is the principles I've learned about what works for my audience and educational channels in general. Not generic design rules, my rules. I can't trust AI to give me good results unless I tell it what a good result looks like. With Poppy, I'm teaching the AI my standards. These principles live here permanently. Examples of what works for my audience, what doesn't, good versus bad specific to my channel. So when I brainstorm thumbnails, it's not giving me generic design advice. It knows what good means for me. Again, all of this is one place. So when I need to brainstorm a thumbnail, I'm not starting from zero. I go to this section. I tell AI what my video is about, and because it has all of this context, my audience, my style, what's worked before, it doesn't give me generic suggestions. It gives me options that actually fit my specific situation. This is how I got that amazing thumbnail concept I wouldn't have thought of. You're not jumping between tabs or scrolling through documents. Everything you need for one task is in view at the same time. The context is visual and always there, making it super easy to iterate. I can get to good enough in 20 minutes instead of spending 3 hours second-guessing myself. But even still, I now spend about 5 times more time on packaging than I did when I started. But it doesn't feel harder because I have this system. I'm not agonizing over every decision. I'm following a process that works. So that's 2 bottlenecks down. But this last one is the one that got me. Even with great ideas and great packaging, I almost quit. And if you can't solve this 3rd bottleneck, none of this other stuff even matters. You can have the best ideas and the best packaging in the world. But if every single video feels like reinventing the wheel, you'll quit. Everyone says, just be consistent, upload weekly, show up, do the work. Not helpful when every video feels like starting from scratch. You know what to make, you know how to package it, but if you have to redo the same searches, find the same documents, remember what worked last time, figure out your process all over again, it's not a good plan. Video 41. I'm sitting at my desk at 11 p.m. I've been working for 6 hours, but I haven't written a single line of my script. I've been organizing, reorganizing, moving files, creating folders, updating my Notion template. Again, I'm exhausted and I haven't even started. Remember that chaos that I described earlier? The scattered docs, the hundreds of tabs, the time wasted just finding what I needed from last week? Most of that stuff was just efficient procrastination. I made myself feel productive, but I wasn't making videos any better or faster. I wasn't building a system. I was building a procrastination machine. Every week I was redoing the same setup, finding the same docs, making the same decisions. No wonder I was burning out. So I stopped organizing files and I started organizing workflows. This is one of the key learnings that led to the foundation of my program. Over time, those old bad habits fell away, and I figured out what actually mattered. My workflow evolved, and it evolved again when I moved everything into Poppy. Let me show you what it looks like now. This is my full workspace. You're looking at different sections organized by their different stage in the workflow. Left to right is ideation and video analysis, titles and thumbnails, and scripting. And then below that, I went even further and systematized how I make my newsletters, my community posts, make unique strategy guides and roadmaps for my coaching clients. And you can do all of this without Poppy by using ChatGPT and Google Docs. Keep your frameworks and documents, copy-paste them into conversations. The concept works in any AI platform, but Poppy removes all the friction. Everything's visual, everything's connected. You're not hunting through folders or scrolling through chat history. This is the difference between chaos and a system. I even spelled it all out for you with instructions for each section, so you can just jump right in and do it for yourself. Think of it like this. Building without a system is like cooking a complex meal, but keeping all of your ingredients in different rooms of the house. You're running back and forth, forgetting what you already grabbed, doing twice the work. This puts everything on the counter in front of you. I've linked reference videos, live calls, emails, notes, transcripts, worksheets, and you can add even more other things if you need to. When I need to figure out what to make, I come here, and I stay here all the way through to being ready to film. I used Poppy to make my audience analysis, to make my title and thumbnail guardrails, my script architecture. Same with that voice guidelines doc to help AI write like me. I used Poppy to make Poppy better. Everything I need to validate and build anything. The things I reference every single time I sit down to work. All of it's in one space, set up once, always ready. I'm not smarter now than I was a year ago. I just don't waste energy on decisions I've already made. The goal for my channel is to teach you how to be a chef so you can eventually make anything and wing it. To develop your intuition so you know what works without following a recipe. But that takes time, that takes practice, that takes hundreds of videos. And if you're like me, you need results now. So use my systems for yourself until it becomes your own, until you've internalized the principles and you can improvise. If you'd like to get Poppy AI for yourself, there is a link in the description. They are running a New Year's special, so the first 20 people to sign up using code DAVE50 gets $50 off. My template gets emailed to you right after you sign up. The exact board that I showed you in this video, you can just copy it and start using it instead of building everything from scratch. But look, Poppy isn't perfect. There is a bit of a learning curve when you're setting up your boards. But their team does a one-on-one onboarding call with everyone who signs up. They'll walk you through it, answer your questions, and help you get set up properly. For me, having everything visual and connected has been worth the initial setup time, and having someone actually walk you through it makes it way easier. You don't need Poppy to do this. Like I said, the concept works with any AI platform and Google Docs. The systems are what matter. Having your reference materials organized, having your frameworks documented, not reinventing your process every week. Poppy just makes it easier, and that makes it worth it for me. A year ago, the idea of making 52 videos felt impossible. The idea of quitting my job felt like a fantasy. Starting a business? I literally couldn't imagine it. I worried about failures, the videos that would flop, the thumbnails that wouldn't work, the weeks where I'd have no ideas. They felt like monsters. They paralyzed me. But looking back now, they're kind of tiny. They were just part of the process. Learning, growing, figuring it out. YouTube growth is personal growth. You become a better communicator, a better marketer, a better teacher. You learn to manage your time, learn to make decisions, learn to ship, even when you're not sure. Those skills transfer to everything else you do. Systems make you sustainable, not perfect. Once again, you can get my entire Poppy board emailed to you and get $50 off. There is a link in the description. Grab it now so you're not building from zero. Because a year from now, you're going to be in one of two places. Either you'll have 52 videos, an audience, momentum, and skills you didn't have today, or you'll be saying, I wish I started a year ago. Start before you're ready. And if you want to see exactly how to use Poppy from start to finish to make a video, the full walkthrough, every step, that's the video you should watch next.